When we talk about our hearts today, we often think of love songs and Valentine's cards. We might say, "I love you with all my heart," or feel a broken heart when we are sad. The heart is the place where we keep our deepest feelings, our joys and our sorrows. It's the part of us that feels warm when we are with family or aches when a friend moves away. This is a beautiful way to think about it, and it's not wrong. But when we open the Bible, we discover that the word heart carries a much bigger, deeper meaning. It's about more than just the emotions that flutter and fade like butterflies. In the world of the Bible, the heart was seen as the very center of a person. It was the control room, the main office from which everything was directed. It wasn't just where you felt things, it was where you thought things. It was where you made your plans, where you stored your memories, and where you wrestled with big decisions. Imagine a captain steering a ship. The captain's post is like the heart. From that one spot, the entire vessel is guided through calm waters and stormy seas. The biblical writers saw the heart in the same way, as the command center for our entire lives, influencing every single part of who we are and what we do. This idea might seem a little strange at first. We are used to separating our head from our heart. We say, "My head tells me one thing, but my heart tells me another." We imagine a constant battle between our logical thoughts and our powerful emotions. But for the people who wrote the Bible, the head and the heart were not enemies, they worked together. The heart was the place where thinking happened, where understanding grew and where choices were made. It was the seat of our intellect and our will, the very core of our inner world. This understanding changes how we read many familiar Bible verses. So, why does this matter for us today, thousands of years later? It matters because it helps us understand God's message more clearly. When the Bible talks about changing your heart, it's not just asking for a new set of feelings. It's asking for a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing the world, and a new set of choices. It's a call to transform the very core of our being. Understanding this helps us move beyond temporary emotional highs and lows, and focus on a deeper, more lasting change in our minds and wills. It invites us to look at the control room of our own lives and see what is truly guiding us. In ancient Hebrew culture, the heart, or in their language, was the organ of thinking and reason. While they knew the brain was in the head, they considered the heart to be the true location of a person's thoughts and inner life. It was the place for contemplation, reflection, and deep understanding. When a person had a wise heart, it meant they were a good thinker, someone who could make sensible judgments. It wasn't about being emotionally intelligent in the way we might describe it today. It was about having a mind that was clear, focused, and aligned with wisdom. This is a fundamental shift from our modern view. Think of your heart not as a fragile glass vase holding feelings, but as a sturdy workbench where ideas are built. It's where you process information, weigh options, and make plans for your future. When you decide to study for a test instead of watching a movie, the Bible would say that decision was made in your heart. When you think through a problem and come up with a solution, that is the work of your heart. It is the engine of your intellect, the place where you reason, ponder, and conclude. This concept connects our thoughts directly to our spiritual lives, showing that what we think is just as important as what we feel. This understanding also brings our will, our ability to choose, into the picture. The heart was seen as the source of our intentions and decisions. A hard heart wasn't just someone who was unfeeling, it was someone who had stubbornly made up their mind against something. Their will was set, their choice was firm, and they refused to think differently. On the other hand, a pure heart belonged to someone whose thoughts and motives were undivided, whose choices were consistently aimed toward what was good and right. Our choices, big and small, spring forth from this inner center of thought and intention. Therefore, when the Bible speaks of the heart, it's talking about the whole inner person, your mind, your thoughts, your will, and your choices, all bundled together. It's the real you, the part that is hidden from the outside world, but is completely known by God. This is why the state of our heart is so important in Scripture. It's not just about managing our emotions, but about stewarding our thoughts and directing our will. It's about the fundamental direction of our inner life, which ultimately shapes our entire outward existence. Everything we do starts here, in this central hub of our being. The Bible is filled with examples where heart clearly means mind or will. Let's look at a simple one. In the book of Proverbs, a father advises his son, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." That's Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. This isn't just about protecting your feelings from getting hurt, it's a command to be careful about what you think about and what you allow into your mind. It's like being a security guard for your thoughts. You have to watch over the ideas, desires, and plans that form inside you, because those thoughts will eventually turn into actions. What you think in your heart today determines how you will live your life tomorrow. Another powerful example comes from Jesus himself. In the Gospel of Mark, Jesus says, "For it is from within, out of a person's heart, that evil thoughts come." That's Mark chapter 7 verse 21. He then lists things like greed, deceit, and pride. Notice that he starts with evil thoughts. He is teaching that our actions don't just happen by accident. They begin as thoughts and intentions deep within our hearts. The heart, in this sense, is the factory where both good and bad choices are manufactured. It's a place of thinking and planning. This shows that Jesus was very concerned with our thought lives, not just our outward behavior. Think about the story of King Solomon. When God offered him anything he wanted, Solomon didn't ask for riches or a long life. Instead, he asked for a discerning heart to govern God's people and to distinguish between right and wrong. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 9. He was asking for wisdom. He wanted a mind that could think clearly and make good judgments. He knew that to be a good king, he needed more than just good feelings. He needed a sharp and wise mind. God was pleased with this request because Solomon understood that true leadership begins in the heart, the center of thought and decision-making. Even the idea of believing in God is connected to the heart as the mind. The Apostle Paul writes in his letter to the Romans, "If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved." That's Romans chapter 10 verse 9. To believe in your heart is not just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It is a deep conviction of the mind. It is to be fully persuaded in your thinking that something is true. It's a choice you make with your entire inner self, your thoughts, your understanding, and your will, to accept this truth as the foundation of your life. So, what can we do with this understanding today? Knowing that the heart in the Bible means the mind and will can change how we approach our own lives. It encourages us to become more mindful of our thoughts. Instead of letting our thoughts run wild, we can start paying attention to them. What are you thinking about right now? Are your thoughts helpful or harmful? Are they leading you toward good choices or away from them? The Bible invites us to be active participants in our inner world, not just passive observers. We can choose what we dwell on, and that choice has incredible power. This idea also helps us take responsibility for our actions. It's easy to blame our feelings, saying, "I was just so angry, I couldn't help it." But if our actions begin in our heart, our thinking and choosing center, then we have more control than we think. We can learn to pause between a thought and an action. We can examine our intentions before we speak or act. This doesn't mean we won't have feelings. Feelings are real and important, but it means our feelings don't have to be the boss. Our thinking heart can guide us to respond wisely, even when our emotions are strong. Furthermore, this perspective gives us a clear path for personal growth. If you want to become a more patient, kind, or honest person, the change has to start in your heart. It starts by filling your mind with things that are true, noble, and right. It means choosing to think about others with compassion. It means deciding, in your will, to practice honesty even when it's hard. Lasting change isn't about trying to force a feeling, it's about renewing your mind. As your thinking changes, your feelings and actions will naturally begin to follow, creating a transformation from the inside out. Ultimately, understanding the biblical heart is an invitation to know yourself better. Take a moment each day to check in with your heart. What thoughts are you planting there? What choices are you making? Your heart is like a garden. If you tend to it carefully, pulling out the weeds of negative thinking and planting the seeds of truth and goodness, you will see beautiful things grow in your life. Everything you do flows from this inner place. By learning to guard your heart, you are learning to guide your life toward a future filled with wisdom, purpose, and peace.